What is up everyone, my name's Al from Games Rip, and today we're going to be taking a look at an arcade Sega Saturn and PS1 game called In the Hunt. That's right, it's a cross between Metal Slug and R-Type, so if you love those type of games, especially Metal Slug, let's do it.
Xing.
It was then that I knew this was absolutely the game for me, and how in the God's green hell did I miss this one? Yes, I'm going to say off my radar, but obviously sea puns, let's face it, they're probably going to pop up in a game about a submarine. But oh my god, if you love games in the style of Metal Slug, then this is absolutely one for you, because this is an incredible game. Now this one is by Ireme, that's right, and this came out on the PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn and PC. So the version we're looking at today is the PlayStation 1 version, but like I said, the Saturn one is the version I'd rather get, although, let's face it, the price for that game alone now is £200 plus. So, if you've got that sort of money spare, go for it. But don't get me wrong, it is not a cheap game at all. So if you want to emulate it, obviously do it that way as well. Because let's face it, it's probably the best way for most people to play it. So the reason that I mention this kind of looks like Metal Slug is because it really is in the vein of Metal Slug. And I'll tell you for why. And it's not just because it looks like it or plays like it, although you are obviously a submarine and not a person. It's because this was actually conceived by Kazuma Kujo, and basically the same group of people who went on to found Nazca Corporation, and they are basically known as the creators of the Metal Slug series. So now you'll see why it's got that exact same style. You cannot deny looking at this doesn't look like Metal Slug, because it very, very much does. So this actually came out before Metal Slug. That's right, this came out before Metal Slug, but it's one that not many people have actually heard of. So yeah, you cannot deny that is the reason why it looks like it. And yeah, it really is a awesome title, this one. This is one, like I said, I've never really played before now, and Christ, why the hell did I miss it up until this point? Now the storyline is a bit of a dark one. Yeah, the plot basically is evolving around an organisation named the Dark Anarchy Society, aka DAS. And basically, they're attempting to launch a super weapon. Well, let's face it, that's basically what you get with most terrorist-based games nowadays. Big super weapons, yeah, you've got to stop. And that is basically it in a nutshell. And let's face it, who doesn't want to take on the terrorists? But with a slightly different theme, because let's face it, most of these are usually done on land, not many are really done on sea. And you cannot deny this makes it for a kind of a different adventure, because you've got different sort of underground or underwater, I should say, missile systems. You've obviously got other submarines, you've got mines, you've got obviously aircraft shooting at you as well. There really is so many different ways you can be attacked here. It really does make for a fun time. Now, obviously you can do this multiplayer as well. This is a two-player affair if you want it to be, which, let's face it, some people probably would, because this game is not an easy game. But, and as it always would with a game like this, it does get harder the further you get in, and it does it pretty rapidly. Now, obviously, you basically have a standard level, and then you've obviously got a boss fight. And the boss fight, they're very, very interesting looking sprites, I must say. I mean, just look at this boss here. It's kind of a submarine-y type underwater mechanism, but it also has the characteristics of a sea creature, which I think's cool. and that kind of adds to the kind of whole theming of underground warfare in the sea, and I just really, really love that. I think it's really cool when they do these kind of original ideas, and it pulls off really, really well with that. Now, as well as obviously shooting, in the water, you do also need to shoot up, because they are constantly dropping. These planes, these helicopters, you name it, are constantly dropping bombs on you. So you obviously have to make sure to shoot them out of the sky at the same time, as well as buildings, as well as bridges, as well as many different things from all different areas. Now, obviously, whilst you're shooting up, also make sure to shoot forward, because whilst they're shooting you from above, you will also be getting hit by tracking missiles as well as God knows what else. It really is constant with this one. This game's just, it's constantly throwing everything at you, because let's face it, it's done in the style of an arcade game to basically eat up all your money. So it's there to really punish you, and it does it well. And like I said, if it wasn't like this, then Christ, it might just be a little bit boring, but it isn't, because it is just that full on. Obviously, you can make sure to pick up the little weaponry things that just kind of, they float every now and again. You'll see them kind of, I think comes up as a little A. I think it means ammunition, but either way, make sure to get them, because they will add to your ammunition, your weaponry, and then obviously your missiles, etc. So that's cool. And like I said, the thing that really blows me away with this one really is the scenery. I mean, just look at the scenery right now. How much is going on in this picture? They haven't just focused the game on a couple enemies and yourself. They've bombarded you. There's planks flying. There's little robots walking along. There's stuff going on left, right, and centre. And this is what makes this game look, not just look, but also play so damn unbelievably well. It boggles the mind how they got this game to work so damn smoothly on the PlayStation 1, because there really is that much going on, but it does make for a really, really fun time. And like I said, if you love Metal Slug, then you're definitely gonna love this one. Now, obviously, I have forgotten to mention the controls here. The controls just work absolutely fluid. I mean, there really aren't that many buttons to really use here. You're using the D-pad, you're using a shoot button, or a couple shoot buttons, I should say, and that really is it. But, let's face it, what did you expect with a game like this? The controls really aren't going to be all that difficult. Now, there's not really much I really need to say here. This game is kind of, you have to play it and see it to believe it, if that makes any sense, because I can't really do it any justice until you give it a go yourself. Because like I said, you can play it obviously on an emulator now, which is probably the cheapest way to get it. Just emulate the PS1 version or the Sega Saturn version, and I think you'll be golden. Get a few mates over, play this, and you will not regret it. Anyway, this was a look at In the Hunt, the hidden gem for the PlayStation and Sega Saturn and PC. So like, comment and subscribe, and I'll leave you with some more footage of In the Hunt. Al signing out.
can now support the channel on patreon.com/gamesrip, as well as remember to like, comment and subscribe.